Let's take a look at the Workspace window in Xcode. In this segment, what I'm going to be doing is showing you how to work around the various features of Xcode. Now, one way of demonstrating this would be to start by creating a project and walk you through each step of the way as the project is turned into finished code. That's not what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is start from a demonstration project built on one of Apple's templates, and I'm going to show you how I can maneuver through the project. Later on, I'll show you how to start with an empty project and work on it. But for now, I just want to help you become familiar with Xcode. Now here, what we're looking at is the Xcode window. And if you've worked with any tools that help you develop code, this looks pretty standard. Now, if I want to set preferences, I come up here to the Xcode window, which is the standard way of setting preferences for anything. And you'll see I have a whole variety of preferences to set. Those will all be important for what you're doing. Text editing is one of the most important. For example, I can turn off and turn on line numbers. Look over here, and you'll see the line numbers coming on and off. There's a code folding ribbon right here. See how it comes and goes, and it enables me to fold up sections of code. You'll see how here that was a slightly darker area, and now I've got the declaration, but here's the code itself. I can open it from the folding ribbon, and here the code is back again. There are lots of these features in Xcode that you can use to help you navigate through the editing process. And we'll come back to them at various points in the course. But basically what you're looking at here is something that looks probably like every other editing window you've ever used in developing in any language on any platform. It does have color coding for the various syntax elements. One of the things that Xcode does is to watch very carefully as you are typing, and it suggests solutions. For example, I'm going to take this line of code and take out the word app delegate. And so now I'm left with implementation. You'll see that I got errors up here. As soon as I took out the name of the implementation, I have errors here because the compiler is watching and trying to parse the code as you are typing it in. Now I'm going to put the word app delegate back in, and I'm going to type very slowly. You'll see that Xcode is looking to see what might complete that declaration of the implementation, and indeed its suggestion is app delegate. So I could come up here and say, yes, I want that, and just press return, and it's right there. I don't have to worry about spelling it incorrectly or correctly, because Xcode is ahead of me by parsing things to see what turns out. So this is the basic editing window inside Xcode. Up here at the top, we have a toolbar. And the toolbar has several features that you should be familiar with. Over here, we have a button that lets me build and run the current scheme. If it's running, I can then stop it. And here are the schemes. These are where I'm going to try to deploy the code. And I can edit schemes up here, and you'll see if I'm working with iOS devices, I can run on a simulator or on a device itself. Here I have activity status, and you can see what's going on up here. And then over here I have a selection of 3 buttons, and they show different editors. This is the standard editor. The assistant editor has a very useful feature, which is that it lets me see 2 files at the same time. And when we get to jump bars, I'll explain how this works, but basically you can see that what I was looking at before was this file, the app delegate, and it showed me the companion file, the counterpart file. This is the header file for this implementation over here. And I have a variety of ways of choosing what the counterpart file will be. You can have 2 totally unrelated files shown. But the assistant editor lets you see 2 files. The standard editor lets you see 1 file. And over here, you can look at changes that have taken place. So most of the time, you'll work in the standard editor or the Assistant Editor. And now we're going to start to explore these three buttons.